Welcome back to Conversation to Close. This is Sean, and in this video, we're going to be going over a recording from one of my community members who needs help dealing with a sentimental seller. What is a sentimental seller? Okay, so basically, in this situation, they inherited the property from a family member that passed away, and even though they were offered what they were asking, they're still holding back. So, what we're going to be doing is navigating through this and seeing how we can get it done, different strategies, different things to watch out for. Enjoy. Nick, what's
What's up?
going
Can
on,
you hear
man?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Not much, man. How are you?
Fantastic as always. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I know we were talking the other day briefly. I just had this seller that I'm kind of working. They're here in Houston, out of my backyard. But anyways, basically this she used to live in the house. She's had it for like 25 years, and then it's been vacant for about 3, 4 years now. It was in a house fire, so it's a firehouse.
Okay.
Uh, and Yeah, she was wanting, I think the ARV was about 235. She was wanting 49. I ran the numbers. It looked really good. So I was like, let's just lock it up. So I told her it looked good. I was like, I was going to go meet her in person because she didn't really know a lot about computers and how to do it, virtually, the signing and stuff. And I just figured it'd be better that way, build more rapport and stuff. But anyways, she texted me back the other day, and she's basically saying, because she had to talk it over with her mom, and I guess they just don't want to let go of the house yet and to call back in March. So really, I was just curious, like, how you would approach a situation like that, because it seems like it's more of a sentimental sort of thing, and obviously they've been holding it on for these past couple years. It's been vacant, just sitting there, like it's literally just open to the elements and just getting worse as time goes on. So
Okay. So it could be two things. It could be sentimental. That's definitely a possibility. I've been in that situation before. It could also be you. And by you, what I mean is think about how it went. Put yourself in her shoes. You called her, it was a lead, however you got a hold of her. You guys got on the phone. She told you about the house. She told you how much she wanted. And then you said, okay. Now, in her mind, maybe she didn't ask for enough. Maybe if you'll just give in that much that quickly, maybe she can get more from somebody else or even from you.
yeah.
So, what I would have done, and I get it, like, how many deals have you closed?
Well, me personally, I haven't closed any yet. I'm still
And
trying
that's
to get
why.
that first one, but
That's why.
yeah, I mean, the thing with that, I didn't actually give her asking price at first. I went a little below. I think I was like maybe 5, 6, 7K below her asking,
Mm-hmm.
just to make it seem like, it wasn't like some smoking deal, but like we could get close.
Smart. Okay, that's good.
So I started at that, and then basically she, went back and talked to her mom and said, they had to be at that 49. So the way I position my calls is, I think I mentioned this to you before. I'm just basically one of the acquisition managers. I don't make the offers. My underwriting team does. So that's how I position all my calls. And basically, I told her, I'd go back to my acquisition or my underwriting team, see if I can get that approved. And then I gave her a call back, and we negotiated a bit. And I basically told her I could meet her at that asking price. And then she said she had to think it over again. So I gave her a little bit more time. And then, yeah, I'd been following up with her for a couple of days. And then she basically told me that. But I mean, I feel like my acquisition calls, even though I haven't closed anything, I have a sales background. Like, that's what I did previously. So it's not like I'm just doing these cookie cutter questions. Oh, what's your motivation? What's your timeline? Oh, how old's the roof? Like I really go into it with the sellers. Like, most of my calls are, anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes long. Sometimes even longer. I've had like an hour call, like
Nice
some
job.
even like an hour and a half. So, I don't, it's not like I said, it's not like obviously I can improve on stuff, I'm sure, um, but yeah, I feel like it's more of a sentimental thing though, because they've been holding it on forever, and it's just like she basically said that, she lived in the house so long and there's a lot of memories in the house and it's just hard to let go. So I'm pretty sure it's a sentimental thing. It's not really like a price thing.
Is it a teardown?
But I mean, I don't know. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. I didn't calculate it as a teardown. I calculated it as a gut. Like a really
How much was burned?
It looks pretty burned. I really, the only thing I could go off of was like Google Maps or Google Earth. So it looks like there's a big like hole in the roof from the fire, and it looks like it could be savable. I don't think it's a teardown, but with the numbers, even like I said, like if we did ARV of 235, you could still calculate like over $100,000 in repairs for that, and I think whenever I ran the numbers, because it wasn't a big house, I'd have to pull up the notes. They said for a full gut, it was going to be like 45, 50K. So even if you just double that and you're at 100, it's still a deal. Like at that point, like that's why I felt like I could still dispo it, honestly, because there was a lot of margin in it. And even the land value was, I'm pretty sure there was the HCAD over where in Houston valued the land more than my offer. So I think it was a good deal either way.
So if it's more sentimental, then you have to, and this is going to be hard because you don't necessarily know what the buyer's going to do. But I would, is she still being responsive? Like, does she still answer the phone when you call?
Yeah, I mean, it's off and on. I have to reach out a lot to get a hold of her. And then she has, because I usually go high level, she has do not disturb on, so it's kind of annoying. I can't really text her from there. But, yeah, I mean, she's pretty responsive for the most part, I would say, yeah.
Okay. I would shoot her a text or a phone call, however you typically do it. And I would say something along the lines of, I've got some good news. Some sort of hook, something. What you're going to do is you're going to offer her more money. Okay? And then you're going to do this real smart. You're going to say, hey, guess what? I think I can offer you more money on the property. And then regardless of what the answer is, you're going to start naming off dollar amounts. You're going to what did you offer before? 49? 48? No, I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she wanted 49.
Okay. So you're going to start at 50.
And
then you're going to see what she says. If it's rainbows and butterflies and everything is great, then cool. She just wanted more money. If she says no, then you're going to say, okay, how about 60? Then you're going to say, before she can say anything, how about 70? Mrs. Seller, what if I gave you $100,000? Would that make you sign the contract today? If she says no, then you know 100% this not the money, it's the house. And then you're going to work it in a way of saying, look, I understand. I do this. I did that on purpose, Mrs. Seller. I've dealt with people before that have a really, really high sentimental value to the house to once it gets down to the point where, oh my God, this is real, we're actually going to sell it, then you don't really want to. So I understand. But, Mrs. Seller, right now, the house is in shambles. And all those memories that you're holding on to, it's not doing the house any favors. I think the best way to respect the house is to let one of my investors put the money that's needed to put that love back in the house by putting it back together. Let's make the house whole again so someone else's family can build their memories in the house. And the only way that that's going to happen, unless you're going to do it yourself with about $110,000 worth of repair, is to let one of my investors do it. And you're going to have to do it that way.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to use those words. You're going to have to say love and family. You have to feel it. Because this is why everyone's like, Sean, why are you so good at closing shit? Because I actually feel it. I have a mental problem. I can feel it. When someone tells me a story, if they're telling the truth, whatever emotion they're feeling, I empathize. Truly, I can feel it. So I know that whenever I'm going to say, it's coming from the heart. And it also has to be factual. Unless she's going to put the money into the house to restore it, then all she's doing is taking those memories that she built in that house, whatever sentimental value that she's building, but the house is in shambles. She's not respecting the house. So, Mrs.
Yeah.
Seller, let's respect the house. Let's put it back together. And either you need to do it or you need to let one of my investors do it. I have investors who are ready to go. They'll make that house beautiful again so somebody else's family can make their memories.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you have to come at it. Now, if you say you're going to give her $100,000 and she says, oh, okay, I'll take it, then you say, okay, so then it was my offer that stopped you from moving forward with me before. Now you, as the wholesaler, need to have the balls to say that.
Yeah.
And you should.
Yeah.
And you can make it a joke. It's like, okay, so that's why you told me to wait. I didn't offer you enough money. And you start laughing, start chuckling.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, I just wanted to, I do this exercise because I wasn't sure if it was more of a sentimental reason on why you were holding on to the house or if it was money. So now that I know that's money, let's talk about how much I can actually give you. Because if 49 is not enough, let's figure out what it'll take to make it work. Because I have investors who are ready to go that'll put this house back together, make it beautiful so other people can, in other people's families can start building memories. You still, because it's sentimental no matter what. So you can still use that line regardless.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you're going to have to approach it. But the only way to do it is you got to get on the phone with that first hook. Hey, I got some good news for you. Hey, I've got an idea for you. Hey, I just had this thought. I think it's great about the house. You got 2 minutes? I want to run it by you.
Yeah. No, that's good. Basically, just uncovering if it's a money issue or if it's more of a sentimental thing. Yeah.
That's it. Because you're not going to know how to attack it until you uncover absolutely what it is. And by offering her double, if she still says no, and I've done this before, that's how I know it works. I've had a sentimental person. It was her mom's house. Her mom passed away. She took care of her mom the last 5 years of her life. She didn't want to sell the house, even though she needed to, because it was a 4-bedroom house and it was just her and 9 cats. And I told her, I said, I get it. But do you think your mom wants you to be in the house like this? I mean, the house needs a complete and total overhaul. And and either you're going to do it, I'll never forget, Tiffany, either you're going to do it or you need to let us do it. But right now, those memories are not being honored by a house that you are letting fall apart. And that's what I told her. Because I had built the rapport with her in the beginning. I respect you enough to tell you the truth, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I will always tell you the truth. You may not like it, but you will never be able to call me a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to posture yourself. Because then it allows you to say those things with the amount of confidence and the amount of sincerity to where it's gonna hurt them. It's gonna hurt, but they're not gonna get mad at you.
Yeah. That's true. Just being pretty much straight up with them, I get that.
But you got to find out, and you have to be genuine and sincere if that's the route you're going to take.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to go pulling on the heartstrings for pain point, you better make sure you feel that pain too, because if you don't, they're going to hear it in your voice.
Yeah, no. Most definitely, I think that's probably what I need to work on the most. Like, I feel like I've always been good with, like, having conversations, building rapport with people, stuff like that. But definitely, like, handling objections has always been something that is a little tricky. Which I feel that's probably the tricky part for most people, though. So
you can try it the other way. You can literally call her, catch her on the phone, and say, "What's her name?"
It's Sandra.
Sandra, I had a quick question. I know you told me to follow with you in March. I'm totally on board with that. I'm just curious. You told me how much you needed. You told me the situation for the house. I offered to give you that much. And then it seems like once it became real, then there was a lot of hesitation. Is that more of your sentimental attachment to the house? Or was there some other aspect that I missed?
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
Because she'll either tell you, because here's what you're doing. By acknowledging once it became real, if that's how she felt, that's going to click with her. And then she's going to tell you. If that isn't it, then you're putting the onus on you, or is it something else that I missed? Because what you're saying, if you read between the lines, is, hey, look, you told me what you wanted. I told you I'd give you what you wanted, and then you pulled back. So
Mhm.
did I miss something, or are you that attached to the house?
Yeah.
And then just go silent. And if she gives you an answer that is surface level, stay silent.
Mhm.
And if you're uncomfortable staying silent, I get it. A lot of people can't do that off the cuff. Just say, "Well, what do you mean by that?" That's literally the best open-ended question when you want someone to keep talking. Because you have to sound,
Yeah.
but your tone has to be right. You have to sound genuinely curious and sincere. Well, Nick, what do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Mhm. Yeah. Just get them to really open up more.
Yeah, but you need one or the other. You need to know which objection it is. It's either the money or it's the sentimental value. And you can't attack
Mhm.
it until you figure out which one it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like the easiest way, honestly, would probably just to be to probably go at it offering more money first and then kind of see what happens from there. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like with, unless you really know how to position it, they might, um, you might get some more objections that, they might not want to open up if it's the money or if it's more of a sentimental thing. I feel like if you position it more like if you could offer them more money, that would really kind of tell you straight out the gate, what it is, really. Especially like if you said, like you said, if I offered her 100 grand, if she's not willing to accept that, then obviously I know it's sentimental more than anything.
Yeah, when I was talking to Tiffany, I literally said she was asking, original asking price was 30. My MAO, I think, was 50. So I'm like, okay, yeah, 30 is no problem. I told her 25. She said, someone offered me 25. I'd really like to get 30. I said, okay, what if I do, I think I did 28.5. And I said, I'll cover all the closing costs. She said, nah, they offered that too. I really want the 30. I said, all right, you're a better negotiator than me. I'll give you 30. So we go to sign the paperwork. 2 days later, she calls me. She changes her mind. And I can feel it. I know it's sentimental because I actually met with her face to face. And the way she was talking about the house, I felt it. So I said, well, I offered you 30. What if I offered you 40? And she's like, I don't really think so. I said, what if I offered you 130? And she said, what? I said, what if I offered you 130,000? She said, I don't really. I said, so you're not ready to sell the house yet emotionally, are you, Tiffany? And she said, no. And that's when it started. Waterworks and everything. And that's when she was done, I let them talk. I let people like to vent. Let them vent. Let them talk, especially nowadays. They don't get to. And then once she was done, that's when I hit her with the, hey, the house is falling apart. You're letting that house that you have this much sentimental value for in your heart fall apart. So either you need to fix it, and in which case I'll tear up the contract right now, or you need to let one of my investors put the money into it and make that house what it needs to be so another family can enjoy the life in it.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, let's do it. And she went forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a really good approach.
if you're gonna offer more money, it has to be exaggerated because you got to remember you're not saying, "Hey, what if I offer you 50?" and then hoping she says yes. Because if that's the case, then the next person that offers her 51, you're in trouble. Someone offers her 52, you're in trouble. You need to nip that in the butt right away.
Hmm.
So if you're gonna offer more money, you offer a little bit, hoping that she says no. Then you start exaggeratedly going up more until you do
Hmm.
100. Shit, you can literally say, "Hey, I know you wanted 49, but guess what? I can offer you 50." And she's like, I should then say, "What about 150?" And she's gonna say, "What? Yeah, what if I give you 150,000? Would that make you want to sign my contract right now, or would you still want to wait?" If she says she wants to
Hmm.
wait, it's sentimental. If she says, "Oh yeah, I mean, I'll sign right now for 150," then you can start laughing and say, "Okay, so you wanted me to wait until March, hoping that you can get more money between now and then. So my offer wasn't enough for you. Got it, Sandra. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you more money, Sandra. You just got to tell me how much more you want. You can make it a joke. It's all about your tone."
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have a lot of room in this. I mean, I did for like I said, this is a firehouse, so I'm probably going to calculate it this at more than I would usually for a gut job, because it's going to be way more than that. So even if we did 70 a square foot, it comes out to about like 79 grand, I think. And then after you calculate everything, it's like MAO is like 75 grand still. So I have like 25 grand I can go up still, you
Right,
know?
but keep in mind you want to make sure that if it is price, you find out how much she actually needs. You don't want to go up incrementally, because the moment I'm going to call her tomorrow or some other wholesaler and offer her $5,000 more than you, and now you got a
Yeah.
seller who's not cooperating and is going to blow the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to make sure, if that's the case, you identify it, and then you get a firm commitment from them. Okay, Mrs. Sandra, I don't normally like to do it this way, but I want to make sure and respect your house. I know you got a lot of sentimental value in it. I know you also need to, get your value out of it. So if we agree on this number, we are moving forward, or is there something else I need to be aware of?
Mm-hmm.
If she says no, then you make sure you get the contract signed ASAP, and then go from there. And if she tries to back out, then you can hold her to that conversation.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I'll probably try to meet her in person most likely too. Maybe worst case scenario, if she's still on the fence a little bit, actually seal the deal with that. But yeah, I think your approach is great for sure. Like, to really uncover and then kind of take it from there. Because I have a feeling for something like this. I have a feeling I feel like it is a sentimental thing, but if I offered her more, I feel like she'd probably give in. So
You know how you could do that and save face, because you don't want to look like, oh, okay, fine, you made me back off, I'll give you more money. You could posture it this way. You can always say, hey, Sandra, you know what I was thinking? I know you wanted to wait, but we asked for 49,000. I saw a couple pictures. If I can come see the property and it's not as bad as I budgeted for, I might be able to give you more money, if that'll help. That way, you're saving face a little bit. You're not just tucking tail and offering her more money. There's a reason behind it. Hey, if I can come see your... Because then that solves two things. You can bring the contract with you. You can sign it face to face, meet her face to face, build that extra rapport, and then piggyback off of, hey, you know what? Because again, like you said, your MAO is 75,000.
yeah,
So you've got room to play with. You're like, hey, you know what? I can probably actually give you about 55. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Then at least you have a valid reason as to going up for more money, other than, oh, I really want the deal, so fine, I'll give you more money.
yeah, yeah. That's true. So you can actually validate it rather than just saying it.
Yeah,
Say it.
you've got a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, the way I've been positioning this when I follow up with sellers, like if I wasn't able to meet their price, and we negotiated and maybe had a little bit more room, is kind of positioning it like, we do a lot of business in the area. We have a lot of rental properties in the area. And basically kind of like positioning it to where my underwriting team really likes the area and stuff. And we're looking to buy a couple more properties this month, so they're willing to go up on their offer price a bit, or whatever the case may be. But I definitely think in this case scenario, that'd probably be the better approach.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I would try it that way.
Okay.
Because at the
All
very
right. Well.
least, it'll give you more information to work off of. You'll be peeling off another layer, trying to get to what the actual issue is.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. I feel like for this one though, I'll probably have to attack it on the phone and see what the actual objection is first, because I have a feeling without uncovering that, I don't even think I'd have a shot to go out and visit her at the property. So yeah.
It's all about your delivery. It's about your tone, and the choice of words you use and how you use them. Hey, Sandra,
Mhm.
I know you wanted to wait until March. I've got quite a few people that have shown me interest in this property. So why don't I come take a look at it? And if the work that needs to be done isn't as bad as I'm budgeting it for, because obviously, Sandra, I'm budgeting for the worst. I've only seen photos. So I'm over budgeting. But if I can come take a look at it, if it's not as bad, I can definitely give you more money if that'll work for you. And then be quiet and let her
Uh-huh.
answer. If that doesn't work for her, it's probably sentimental, but you need to keep digging. If she says, "Oh yeah, that's great. Come when you want to come see it," then it's probably a money thing or a healthy mix of the two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll probably just try to attack it and see what I can do with this. I think I'm close on the first deal, so we'll see. This is probably the best one I have in my pipeline right now. That or another one. Just having a lot of different things. I have this one, and then I have another one that I've been literally working this lead for like a couple months now. And this dude basically is just having health issues and stuff like that. I actually have a lot of people in my pipeline like that are just older. They have health issues, and they kind of want to put selling their house on the back burner until they get their health sorted out. So that's definitely a tricky one too.
Yeah, in that situation, you really need to. I mean, one, you kind of want to be careful because you don't want to just ask someone, "Well, what's wrong with you?" Because that's you need to kind of. There's ways to do it, but it's tricky. You gotta kind of have a little bit of a knowledge base to navigate that. I can actually help you guys with that on one of the trainings. But in a situation like that, you want to start helping in your conversations with them. You want to paint the picture of what it looks like once they move, because
Yeah.
chances are health issues can be made easier by where you live. What do I mean by that is one of my clients, she lived in a 2-story house. Her laundry room was upstairs, her master bedroom was downstairs, and she had a bad hip. So she needed to sell her house so she can find a place that was single story. So even though she was, she didn't really want, no one wants to move. No one really wants to move. Moving is a pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
she knew she had to. She was just putting it off for as long as she could. So I painted the picture with her. Where are you going to move? Well, how are you going to decorate it? Are you going to decorate it the same as your house now, or are you going to buy new stuff? I mean,
Mhm.
after you sell me the house, I mean, you'll have some money to spend. What I mean, come on, what are you going to get? And you make it into a joke. And then but you're actually asking, "No, tell me what you're going to, how are you going to decorate the kitchen? How are you going to decorate the living room?" You make them picture that in their head. And I know how it sounds, but you actually do it. You walk them through every piece of it, and then you attach that emotion of how they're feeling to that picture, and then all you do is harp on that picture. "Hey, I'd really like to get you to that, kitchen that you said you were going to put that new a double door fridge in that's got the TV screen on it by LG. I'd really like to get you in that property that's single story so you don't have to worry about going up and down those stairs anymore. That is dangerous. So, what do we
Yeah.
need to do in order to expedite this for you? Because I'm ready to go. What do you need?" And then you be quiet and
Yeah.
let them answer. People will tell you if you ask them the right way.
Mhm. Yeah. That's true. This one lead I have that's kind of in that situation. He lives in a bigger house, like it's like a 4 bed by himself. His wife passed away, and then his kids are all grown up, and then he just has health issues. Just like I said, maintaining the house and stuff like that. And for this guy, I really approached it more like giving value before asking for stuff. Like he was wanting me to help him find new places to move into in the same area that was smaller. So I wrote up a whole document for him of new places he could move into and stuff like that. So just trying to kind of provide value before, because basically where he was at, my original offer was like way too low. He was like, hell no. And then we kind of got to the point where he was like, well, if you're able to help me find a new place to move to, maybe I can meet you in the middle, which was at the higher end of my MAO. It was pretty much my MAO, so it would still work. And that's kind of the route I took with that one, providing value you know, before asking, really.
Right. No, that's beautiful. That's a good play. I like that.
Yeah. So, but I guess it's just part of the game. So I know it takes a while to build up the pipeline and stuff like that. I think we've been marketing for about 2.5 months now. So,
It's
takes
about
a
to
little
come.
while.
It's about to come. It's about to come due.
Yeah, here soon. We got six, 55 leads in the pipeline right now, but I think I'm working probably like 25 of them, and then, or not working all of them. Some of them I'm nurturing because they're not ready to sell yet, and then a lot of them, I can't contact, or they're just dead leads or offer rejected. But yep, I think here soon, hopefully get something. Just sticking with the process. So yeah, we'll see.
That's all you got to do, man. The only way, and I know how this sounds, everyone says it, but as someone that has gone through it, you can literally only fail if you quit. As good as
Yeah.
people think that I am at this shit, and I get it, like I can close some stuff, but it took me a year to get my first deal, and my first assignment was like $1,000. It was like, actually, it was like
Oh,
17. It was like 1750.
damn.
But once that one hit, it was like, okay, it was a mental shift. This is what it takes to get a deal closed and actually across the finish line. Okay, got it. And then you just start doing little tweaks here and there at every step of the process, and then before you know it, you're closing four, five, six a month.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. It's like kind of like a domino effect, and that's kind of how I viewed it. You get your first one, and then you know it's kind of like I said, a domino effect from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I'll reach out to Sandra, kind of run through that talk track, see what I can do, and continue working these leads. So yeah. Do you just out of curiosity, obviously you do trainings. Do you do, because I feel like the biggest thing that would probably help me, like I said, I feel like I'm good at building rapport and stuff on the call, but I'm obviously always learning. I'm not perfect. Do you do like call recording reviews and stuff? Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, there's quite a few of my phone calls that I do in the masterclass where I have the recording playing, and then I'll pause it and interject why I did certain things and what's going on, and subconsciously what I'm trying to do. Yeah, there's like two or three of those in the masterclass.
Okay. Yeah, I was more so asking, like, let's say like you had like a live call, or like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm
yeah.
I'm trying to get that scheduled. It's hard to get that scheduled in the same time as the training. So what I'll do,
Uh-huh.
and then sometimes my team will call me and like, "Hey, Sean, can you jump on a call?" So it'll be me on a closing call, but not the opening call. So I've got tons of
Yeah.
recordings of those.
Okay.
And actually, just so we're on the same, well, hold on. Did I answer your question?
Kinda. I was more so asking like let's say you had a calendar for the live calls, right? And then maybe obviously you have scheduled for different things. One day is maybe like comp training, one's underwriting training, and then maybe you have a day for like a live call review, or someone in the group brings one of their call recordings and everyone like goes over it and listens. Or maybe you could even do, because like I said, I used to do sales in the past, and I'm part of this one group that I actually kind of paid for, these guys that are in like the high ticket sales space. And that's kind of what we would do. We would have trainings about, like, people would bring like their actual live like call recordings, and we would like go over them and listen to it and say basically like what you could improve on in those calls and stuff. So it was just an idea. I feel like that would definitely be like helpful for people. You know
Oh,
what I
that's a
mean?
great idea. Yeah, yeah. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, so full disclosure, no, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't have any of those, but it's probably something that I'm going to start implementing today. I'll put an
Okay.
announcement in the community right now, actually. But one of the so that's to answer your question. Did I answer your question about the how to handle Sandra?
Yeah, yeah. No, I got that down. Really, just kind of figuring out, coming at it from a approach of, you know, caring and, actually caring about the seller, which I always do. I've never really viewed this. I don't think in wholesaling it's good to be transactional, especially on your calls. You want to be more relational based.
Good for you.
So more so coming at it that in that angle, while also obviously uncovering, is it a money issue? Is it more of a sentimental issue? And then kind of just taking that route from there.
Exactly. Okay. Good. Good. And then All right. Hopefully, you took away some good information. Each one of these situations is going to be different, but the most important thing is finding out what's the actual reason. You have to dig deeper when it comes to pain points, when it comes to motivation, when it comes to what the seller is trying to accomplish. And the only way you're going to do that is by having a conversation, being empathetic, being professional, and asking the right questions that gets you to those answers. That's how you become successful when you're dealing with situations like this. Again, I hope you learned a lot. This is Sean with Conversation to Close. Have a great rest of your day.